Hello, gorgeous Her Drive audience. Welcome to the show where we talk to amazing women who have really forged a path in their own particular industry, most of the time coming from their own particular challenge that has surfaced in their life. And I always just feel so honored to introduce you all to these trailblazing, interesting, heart centered women. And today's guest is Dr. Tiina Meder. She is the founder of Meder Skincare Line, is a cosmetic safety expert, and passionately advocates for microbiome-friendly skincare solutions that celebrate individuality and intuition in skincare choices. So, hello, Dr. Meder. Welcome to Her Drive podcast.
Hello, Cynthia, and thank you so much for inviting me. And thank you for this warm introduction.
You are so welcome. Well, first and foremost, I think we all need to know, what is microbiome-friendly skincare?
Thank you for the question. It is a really great question. And when I launched the brand 15 years ago, no one even asked it because no one been speaking about the microbiome except for some small community of the microbiologists. But now probably all of you listeners heard about the microbiome. Microbiome, it is a community of the microorganisms cohabiting with our body. So they are not just living on our skin or in our gut, they are cohabiting with us. And they are absolutely essential and vital for our health and for our life. And we are speaking about different types of microbiome. And obviously, I'm specializing in the skin microbiome because I'm a dermatologist. And microbiome-friendly skincare, it is a skincare which doesn't disturb healthy microbiome of the skin. Also, now we are speaking about microbiome-oriented skincare approach. And it is mostly about the skincare which can change microbiome for good. Because sometimes we have some skin condition with our microbiome is pathogenically disturbed already, for example, acne. We have a prevalence of inflammatory bacteria, so we should restore the microbiome health. So when it is microbiome friendly, it's literally neutral to microbiome. And when it is microbiome oriented, it's kind of therapy to the microbiome, restoring its initial health.
Okay, that's so interesting to me. And of course, yeah, I think you're right. So many of us have heard of microbiome, but most of the time we're thinking about it within our gut and the internal system rather than recognizing that it's all over and throughout and definitely on our skin. So what are some signs that a person, you'd mentioned acting, but what are some signs that the microbiome might be off on our skin and areas that impact our skin?
That's probably it's easier to recognize when your microbiome is doing fine. Because when the microbiome is healthy, your skin is happy. And it is such a recognizable state, despite it is quite rare. When you are not worrying about your skin, it is not irritated, the skin color is even, your skin is well moisturized, able to hold the water in the skin surface. So literally you forget about your skin. You live in your skin very comfortably. But when your microbiome is disturbed, you start to feel uncomfortable. Exactly like with your gut microbiome. So when your gut microbiome is disturbed, you feel bloated or you feel like your digestion is far from ideal. You can be constipated, you can have diarrhea or something else. Exactly the same with the skin. When you feel that it's itchy, it's tingling, it's irritated, it's tensed, it doesn't look healthy or calm. So very probably your microbiome is fighting something.
Hmm. And I'm curious, um, what products out there are the worst that for really disrupting the microbiome of our skin?
First category of products which are disturbing for skin microbiome, they are disinfectant or antiseptic ingredients or antiseptic product. So literally all kind of hand disinfectant, which we use a lot in the last years. They've been very much disturbing for the skin microbiome and for the face as well, because your hands are subconsciously all the time in the contact with your face. There are really few people who are able to not touch their face during the day. Also, that can be products which contain some disinfectant or antiseptical ingredients. For example, many of essential oils are antiseptical. So if you're using some essential oil-based product, very probably you disturb your microbiome somehow, because most of essential oils are antibacterial, antifungal, and antiviral. We love them for it. But in the same time, when you use it on the daily basis, it can really diminish the diversity of the microbiome, which is not a good thing. Also, anti-acne traditional treatment, for example, based on benzoyl peroxide, that will be absolutely killing for your microbiome. On one side, we want it when we treat an acne because we want to kill this, nasty part of the microbiome, but it's so difficult to control. And so in modern acne treatment, we are trying to avoid to use these harsh antiseptical ingredients. Also alcohol, chlorhexidine, or any kind of disinfectant. Another category, they are ingredient modulating the pH of the skin. So everything which can acidify your skin or alkalize your skin can be disturbing for the healthy microbiome. So when you see something called acids in the skincare, it's a high probability then it is disturbing. Not all acids do it. For example, lactic acid, until some concentration, it is pretty much harmless and mostly moisturizing. But for example, glycolic acid or salicylic acid. And another category, a bit surprising for most of people, they are retinol and retinol derivatives. So literally everything called retinol, because retinol speed up the renewal of the skin so efficiently, then microbiome just lose their home and lose the surface to live. It is scientifically proven that retinoid on the daily basis, it can be disturbing and can be harmful for the microbiome.
Oh my goodness, that's a very long list of disturbing.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
So, so how do what's the solution?
First of all, you should understand, do you need to disturb your microbiome or not? If, for example, you have acne, yes, you need to do something about your microbiome because it is unhealthy. It is pathologically changed already. But if your skin is sensitive, if your skin has a tendency for the dryness, or you are happy with your skin, then probably you should look for something more, I will not say inert, but less disturbing to the microbiome. So product which will not change the pH of the skin, product which will not dramatically speed up the skin renewal, and obviously product which don't disinfect your
Mhm.
skin. For
Mhm.
example, hyaluronic acid based product, great for the microbiome. Hyaluronic acid is one of the best natural prebiotics.
Mm, okay,
So, and there are a lot of products which can be really helpful to your microbiome.
sure. And of course, you have your own product line, and I'm curious, kind of to dive into your story. I would first love to know, like, the genesis of why you wanted to become a dermatologist, and how your journey led you into learning about microbiome and then creating your on product line.
That's a funny story because I never wanted to be a dermatologist.
Fair enough.
I never wanted. I entered to the university when I was 15, and I was very young, and all under this impression of heroic medicine.
Mm,
So I wanted to be a surgeon, a
mm.
real one, or at least reanimatologist or anesthesiologist to work in the surgery block heroically. But after the university, actually, I specialized in the cardiology. And I liked it very much. And part of my work, I worked in the hospital. I was very young, and I was invited to be a part of scientific team which works with research. And my role was to interview women who recently gave birth and they suffered from congenital heart diseases. And being a young, serious doctor, I was ready to hear about their concerns about their health and, like, life and death questions, because that's a congenital heart disease.
Mhm.
And they just had their babies, but they asked me about their wrinkles, pigmentations, and acne, and skin oiliness, and dryness, and even cellulite. And they literally traded the interview for some skincare because it was in the time when it was very difficult to buy skincare. It was post USSR territory. I am from Estonia, and it was, beginning of 90s.
Mhm.
But I like to prepare skincare even in the school time. I was very passionate about the chemistry, so I was like, okay, I will make some oily skin cream for you, and you answer my questions, right?
Mhm.
I liked it, and it was such a breakthrough moment for me because I understood the importance of the skincare and generally the appearance for everyone. Because before I was, very arrogant, and I thought that, I am a serious, educated woman. I should not care about my appearance.
Mhm.
But it changed my mind. I understood then, yes, we can and we should care about our appearance, and our skin health has equally important
Mhm.
as all our organ and system health. So I went to maternity leave, and when I came back from maternity leave, I specialized in dermatology, and very quickly I switched to the industry because I specialized also in the cosmetic safety. My first specialization, it is cosmetic safety expertise. So I worked with people who suffered from side effects after using skincare, and sometimes they're really severe. People think that skincare should be absolutely safe, but it is not.
Mhm.
And people can go to the hospital. People can be in the reanimation after using skincare, so it can be dangerous. And I still have this mindset of cosmetic safety experts. That's my way to the industry.
Sure. Wow, that's a very interesting story and turn. And I love that you had mentioned that you can be a serious, educated person and also give care to your outward appearance as well, and marry the two.
Yeah, I fight the stereotype all my life
Mhm.
because all our skincare industry and beauty industry in general,
Mhm.
we've seen by the society like something non-important.
Right.
And we are important.
Mhm.
Skincare is essential part of the life.
Right.
And even the research which prove it, that quite recently I've been reading the research. They got two group of elderly people and checked, all oncology markers and biochemical markers, and they've been 80 plus category. So obviously they didn't do very well.
Mhm.
They have a lot of signs of, age related changes in
Yeah.
their body. And after, for one group of people, researchers gave simple cheap moisturizers to use for face and for the body. And another group of people, they didn't use any moisturizers, like they never did. And this group which used moisturizers, in 1 month's time, all the biochemical markers improved.
Wow.
Course, moisturizers helps to calm down the skin, even the cheapest one, because it's helped to moisturize the skin. It helps to calm down the irritation. And skin is largest organ of the human body. If this largest organ is inflamed, everything will be inflamed
Mhm.
because everything is so interconnected.
Right.
So yes, we should care about our skin.
Mhm.
And with age, it became more and more important.
Right. Well, I love that you mentioned that. And how much can we tell based on just looking at our skin, where other internal areas might be sick? Can we tell? And
Yeah, absolutely. And we are starting to forget about it because of all this technique and equipment, right? Because now in the hospital, sometimes I have an impression that doctors, they don't do diagnostic anymore without machine because no ultrasound, no diagnosis. But it's a recent addition. 20, 30, 40 years before, we've been diagnosing a lot of illnesses just looking on the skin and touching the people. It's called palpation. It's called the visual diagnostic, and we can say a lot by the skin color, by the skin pigmentation, even by the odor of the skin. Now it sounds a little bit, has been, but it's still useful.
sure, sure, absolutely. Well, I would kind of like to dive back into something else you had mentioned, and this is in regards to focusing on the safety of skincare products and how so many actually are not safe, or people can have really bad reactions to them. And I'm kind of curious, what have been some of the worst cases you've seen, and what were, if you can recall, the products or the ingredients that were in them that caused such significant challenges for people?
First danger, and probably the most dangerous situation, it is anaphylactic shock because some people can be severely allergic to some substances used in cosmetic. And when we worked on the cosmetic safety in 90s, our goal was to find these highly dangerous substances, which many people are, more reactive to them. For example, MIT, metroisothiazoline. Now it's forbidden, it's banned almost everywhere. But some years ago, it represented the real danger. And I've seen people who been in the hospital bed and in reanimation because they developed the anaphylactic reaction to some skincare. Also, allergic reaction can be cumulative. So if you experience some allergy to the cosmetic, please just stop to use it. Don't think then it will be better tomorrow,
Mm-hmm.
because some people they just continue to use this product because it was expensive or because it smells good or because they love the brand. It's actually, it doesn't say big thing about the brand or about the product because it is an individual reaction. But if you react to it, if you develop the allergic reaction, just stop it.
Sure.
Don't use it anymore. And also there can be some skin irritation which can lead to real dermatosis,
Okay.
like eczema or atopic dermatitis, or even can lead to manifestation of psoriasis or neurodermitis. So if you feel like your skin is reddening, is irritated, is damaged somehow after use of skincare, just stop to use it, give it a break, have a medical help if needed, especially if you not feel good, if you feel dizzy, if you feel like you develop some kind of reaction. Sometimes it feel like a virus. So my main advice, when you feel wrong about using skincare, stop.
Solid advice. Everyone, take note.
Because I've seen women who just continue to use skincare alongside with some steroid creams or medication. And I was like, no, you should not do it, please.
Oh my, Ish. Um, how do you think the skincare industry is doing these days in not loading toxins into products?
It's a very complicated question because on one side we are using only standardized ingredients because you have no right to use any ingredients which are not confirmed by authority, which are not verified and checked and tested So they should be in the international nomenclature of cosmetic ingredients. On another side, there are, unfortunately, when independent laboratories they are testing skincare products, very often they find contamination by some potentially harmful ingredients, like all this, scandalous story when benzene was found in so many sunscreens and dry shampoo and a lot of products. And now it was found that benzoyl peroxide in acne product, it is not stable. So literally you have benzene in the big part of traditional acne treatment. And benzene, it's well-known cancerogen.
Mm,
So it is a difficult and complicated question.
mm,
And I, to be honest, I don't have an answer
mhm,
because I am doing everything I can to keep our product safe. But we manufacture everything in Swiss laboratory. We are manufacturing in small batches, so I feel like I am in full control of the process.
mhm.
But when products are manufactured somewhere else, and sometimes, the cost of manufacturing is also affecting the safety.
Mm.
It's much more difficult to get the total safety when it is cheap.
Sure.
So I I mostly believe in independent brand
Mhm.
which manufacture products in the known laboratories.
Yeah.
But very probably I am paranoid because I'm 30 years in the industry and I am cosmetic safety expert.
Sure. Yeah. I would trust you to make the best choices as far as production. I think from the consumer side, it's very confusing as to what to buy and from where because there's a lot of white labeling going on. So you may think that you're getting a product that's made in some sort of small batch, but it's not potentially. So what do you say to consumers who are trying their best to find products that are like ethically made, high quality, and not get swindled in some way?
Uh, Also, it would be great to know, the source of ingredients. But being realistic, I don't think it is possible.
Mm.
Not only because many brands they don't discover the source of ingredients, but also because it's such a huge amount of job
Yeah.
not only to follow every source of ingredient, but also to speak about it. You literally should have some specifically, you know, some person in your company, like security officer, who will be responsible for it. And but also now the situation is improving because, for example, FDA is changing the legislation. And now, finally, it is a specific certification for all product entering to United States of America from other countries. So they should follow some standards.
Mhm.
They should be registered in the MOCRA system.
Mhm.
So I think at least you will not get kind of highly dangerous product
Mhm.
because to be registered in the MOCRA system, the laboratory should be registered by FDA,
Mhm. Mhm.
and it is a serious process.
I see.
So, and it is possible to check. So, probably the first thing to check when you are buying product in America, if this product has a MOCRA number, if it was registered. Since this year, it's obligatory.
Ah, very good.
Also, I will probably have a look on some once again, antiseptic ingredients, potentially harmful ingredients. It is very difficult because a lot of people they think that complicated chemical names
Sure.
on the labels they are, oh my god, signs of danger. It is not, because sometimes we are just preserving ingredients with very small amount of some chemicals,
Mhm.
and they have difficult names which looks awful,
Sure.
but they are not harmful. But I will probably have a look on some natural ingredients to see then at least the half of ingredients on the label.
Mhm.
They are understandable.
Sure.
And also for me, it is always a good sign when it's kind of fair play, because sometimes now you have products which called peptide concentrate or tree peptide serum, and when you read the labels, there are no peptides inside. For me, it is not a good sign. When it is called peptide, you should have some peptides, right? And if they're lying about peptides, probably they're lying about something else.
Sure. Gosh, it's such a complicated time to be in
I know,
existence.
yes.
And be buying. So before we started recording, there was mention about people using beef tallow as a moisturizer, and I've had friends do this for a number of years now. And in the conversation, it was about that we were having was the danger of using beef tallow. So could we touch on that just a little bit?
You know, about the beef tallow, I am one of the people who've been using beef tallow
Uh-huh.
because I'm not so young.
Yeah.
I'm 52, and 50 years ago, my mother applied the beef tallow on my face
Mm-hmm.
when I went out in the winter. I'm from Estonia. It was minus 40 Celsius. Yeah, it is very cold. And when you are skiing in this winter, you should protect your face. And once again, we didn't have any proper skincare. So we looked for something, what we could find. Now we have really many of, you know, smartly formulated skincare to protect your skin if needed. And I really don't see the point of using beef tallow. And also, I had an impression that we have a consensus about not using animal source as a skincare ingredients. Everyone was so passionate about it. So I'm a little bit surprised that so many people now they're using beef tallow. It is animal. Also, it's not guaranteed and it is not contaminated with some viruses or with some yeast or bacterial contamination. It can be harmless when you eat it because you have acids and enzymes in your digestive system and specific microbiome, but your skin microbiome is not ready to meet all these new friends. And also, honestly, beef tallow, it is not very much skin identical. Big part of the beef tallow is good for our health when we're eating it because there are some essential fatty acids. There's a good cholesterol, which we need, but our skin cannot digest it properly. So it plays like some kind of protection for the skin, but you can protect your skin more efficiently, with less of comedogenicity, and much more pleasantly.
Beautiful. That's super helpful and I appreciate it. So, speaking of smartly formulated products, I would really love to tap into the journey of creating your own product line. What was the genesis of that concept? And yeah, if we could start there, that would be really interesting to know.
Actually, I worked in two big laboratories before launching my brand. I trained the trainers team for Tallow laboratory in France, and I worked as a head of international training team in the CELAP laboratory in Switzerland, and I've been absolutely happy. I love them both, and they're great brands and still great on the market. But one day, I've seen, being a cosmetic safety expert, I took a part of many of raw material conferences. And in one day, I've seen two new ingredients, which I understood then it is the future of skincare, peptides and probiotics. It was in 2007. And suddenly I've seen something which is more efficient than traditional ingredients, but so much more safer. So, and I always worried about the safety. I always been this bad guy in the conference, when they present a new ingredient. And I was like, no, 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 no. Speak me more about systemic absorption and how it affects our body. And where are you report of toxicity and everything. And these peptides, they've had all reports. And it is safe. It is skin identical, it is body identical because our body is using peptides as a signaling molecules. And probiotics, it is an essential part of our skin microbiome, which is so easily disturbed. So we can really address the skin microbiome, addressing skin concerns. And I've been so impressed. And I came back to both laboratories with this idea. Let's use peptides and probiotics. And I tried to argument it. I've had this idea to develop the wrinkles treatment, replacing the Botox injections with peptides and probiotics, at least for pregnant women. But in both laboratories, they didn't accept my ideas. They told them too complicated, too scientific, too pharmaceutical, never will be the mainstream. And I was so disappointed when I launched the brand. I came home, I complained to my husband, and he told me, do it yourself. You are an expert, you know how to do it. And we sold our apartment and invested everything in R&D and D and launched the brand in 2009. That was one product brand. And it's kind of miracles and we survived, honestly. But we survived. And now we are in 30 countries over the world working with thousands of clinics.
Beautiful. Mm. Well, first of all, congratulations on taking that bold step, and how wonderful it is to have had a husband who said, "Go for it. Let's do it." In those that moment where you say you were lucky you survived, what were some of the challenges that you faced, and were any of them internal? And if they were, like, what was there a specific mindset or practices that you utilized to continue to move forward if there were moments of doubt or frustration?
It's so many challenges when you start up your business. You know it probably better than anyone else because you have your business. Everyone who has a business knows about challenges. And I think that when people say, then I have no challenges, they're simply lying. Actually, I think the first challenge for most of people starting the business, it is this, you know, feelings and you know all. You never know all. And you should be open-minded, but strong at the same time. So you should believe in yourself, but also believe to experts. You should invest in R&D, but also invest in the marketing. And it was my challenge. I didn't invest to the marketing for many years. I didn't believe in marketing. And probably because I always worked, being cosmetic safety expert and doctors, and I worked with trainings teams. So I really believed that a good product will sell it. It is not true. It is true at some point because we didn't invest in marketing, and anyway, our products became more and more popular, but only because it was different kind of marketing. Because I did a lot of presentation, a lot of training and workshops, and I've been speaking with a lot of skin practitioners, and I've had this reputation among skin practitioners. They believe in me. But it's still the challenge being an independent brand. It, you should have the budget for marketing, but it's never enough.
Sure.
And another challenge is how to find a balance between being yourself and follow market trends. I'm so bad in this because actually I don't follow trends. And sometimes when I launch the product that I believe in, it is not a trend at all. Like I accept that it was so risky to launch something peptide based or probiotic based in 2009. Really, no one understood what I'm speaking about. What microbiome, what probiotics, what are peptides? I've been asked what is the difference between peptides and probiotics this year as a journalist. And I was like, except for the first letter P, everything is different. And maybe I wasn't right because maybe you should follow some trends more. But I am who I am. I think that we should realize some kind of wild scientific dreams if we can. But it is difficult decision for the business. And I don't pretend to take right decisions all the time.
Yeah. Mm. Yeah, it sounds, from my own experience, starting a business and doing many projects, I've been humbled over and over and over again, but humbled forward. And I love that you shared your experience with starting the business. And I also want to take a moment and just congratulate you and celebrate you that um, you went forward knowing that it wasn't uh, the trend. But now I feel like many people do know what peptides are and microbiome. But for those who don't, can we just touch on that basically, like what is a peptide? And you had mentioned how it's I don't know if you used the word identical, but it's very like skin compatible. So how do they work with the skin?
Actually, peptides are very small molecules. They are short chain of amino acids already used by our body for different purposes because amino acids, they're like building materials, brick and mortars of every proteins in our body. So muscles or DNA, everything is built from amino acids. And these short chains of amino acids, they're used by our cells, not only in the skin, but everywhere, like signals. So it is some kind of biochemical language. One cell speak to other using these small peptides. So it just producing this short chain of amino acid. This peptide travels to another cell and say, for example, stop to produce so many pigment or produce more pigment. And using peptides in the skincare, we are interfering with this biochemical language. So we can speak to cells, literally. Now there are more than 600 peptides standardized for skincare use. So we can use this word like calm down allergic reaction or reduce the inflammation, reduce melanin synthesis in the skin, or activate muscles reaction to hormones of happiness. It is possible. So your skin can react more to happiness hormones than to stress hormones, which creates a happy face. So you will still contract muscles when you smile, but you will less responsive to the stress and worrying. So 11 muscles will be less visible. So there are a lot of things which we can do biochemically. But the good thing about peptides, then once it's translated the message, it just reabsorbed by the body. And each amino acid is used again for some other purposes because they are like letters building the word.
That's so beautifully stated. Thank you very much. And I'm curious, when you look towards the future of your business and the industry, what do you see up ahead or hope to see coming forward?
Oh, I hope to see more independent, scientifically based brand being on the market. I just a couple of months ago, I've been participating in San Diego microbiome conferences when I met other brands founders and microbiologists, immunologists, virologists, biochemists who are working on the skincare now. And our problem, then we feel silenced by big brands. We feel silenced by corporate language because we're small. So our voices are small. And when we are speaking about the microbiome, people, there are so few people listening to us. So all of us now, we are happy and corporates started to speak about the microbiome, despite they're calling themselves pioneers right now, all big brands. Okay, we're fine with it. If you want to call yourself pioneer, whatever. But also, I really want to see these independent brands with educating people and launching new innovative products because there are a lot of young, prominent, genius scientists who are working in the skincare industry right now. So, probably, generally speaking, I want to come back in some point to the time when skincare was created by biologists, biochemists and scientists, because in the last 20, probably 30 years, I have an impression that mostly marketing people, they are behind formulations. They like, okay, and now it's not even human beings. Sometimes it is an AI and Google search. Then people search salicylic acid. Let's produce something with salicylic acid. It is so wrong.
Yeah, that seems like a. I understand why they would do that, and from if that's what people are searching, then that's what people want to buy. But I think there is also some. I don't know how to say this correctly. Sometimes what we want is not the thing that we need. And to your
Yeah,
point, like if people are being educated by amazing scientists such as yourself and people who understand formulations and the deeper processes, then that to me as a consumer would make me feel safer and happier than just following like a TikTok trend or or
yeah,
something else.
absolutely.
Yeah,
And because what people want is what people heard about.
yeah,
I want children love chemistry. I want children love biology in the school. I
mm-hmm.
want people understand better their bodies.
Mm-hmm.
Because sometimes I have an impression that people are not sure where their heart is,
Yeah,
left or right.
yeah, yeah. I think that's fair. That's very fair. Um, well, just to touch on your product line one more time, can we talk a little bit about what you formulated and how people might be able to find your products?
We work with many clinics in more than 30 countries over the world. So probably the easiest way to find our products is to find it in the hand of some skin practitioners or even dermatologists. For example, in the UK, more than 500 dermatologists recommending our products for rosacea patients or acne patients. And our first specialization of Meder skincare, it is safe and microbiome-friendly treatments of age-related changes. But since that, we developed solution for calming down redness in rosacea or just in people who have a tendency for this emotional redness, or even in menopausal women. Also, we have acne solutions, and we have all kind of daily skincare, from microbiome-friendly cleansing masks and antioxidant moisturizing serums or moisturizers for all types of skin. But also, I like to do something interesting, which when I have the idea, I'm like, I should realize it. Some products I do literally for myself because, for example, I'm not a good sleeper for many reasons because I worked a lot of night shifts. My children didn't sleep, or my son didn't sleep for 4 years, literally. And I travel a lot. So I thought, okay, I cannot make myself sleep better, but I can create some cream which helps me look better when I didn't sleep. And I did. So it is a circonite cream. It's like a biohacking solution, mimics deep sleep phase for your skin. So, okay, you're not sleeping well. And what? You still can look beautiful. So it's my idea. We don't have sunscreens because I worked on sunscreens for more than 10 years and I'm still not there. There are a lot of good sunscreens on the market, and I cannot do anything better. When I don't do anything better than existing products, I don't want to.
I think that's really a powerful statement to make, and it says so much about you. And I think that's really beautiful.
Yeah,
Uh,
because there's too much of skincare in the world already. So if you launch something, it
yeah.
should be something unique and useful.
Yes. Absolutely beautiful. Well, if you could go back in time and give a younger you some words of wisdom, to what age would you go, and what would you say?
Uh, Probably I'm not wise enough to give advice even to my younger self, but probably I'll go back in the time when I was teenager and I felt so unhappy because it was a breakthrough moment of my life when I was 12, 13. I've been a competitive swimmer before, but I got trauma, and I spent 6 months at the hospital, and I understood then I will never be Olympic, and it was my dream, and I should decide what I do with my life. And I took weight, and I felt big and not beautiful, and everything what teenager girl can feel. And if I can go back and say, first of all, you will never be an Olympic, but you will enjoy swimming all your life. So, and it will be good. And also, yeah, you are beautiful, you will be beautiful, and you are not fat. You are absolutely normal, and actually, you will be stable all your life. And also, it's not bad thing to being smart, because I think that a lot of people just experience it, being smart pants in the school, and no one likes you really, because or you feel like no one likes you. And probably I will say something about it, that being smart, it is good, but the most important thing, it's also being kind and trying to be a good person. But I'm sure my 13 years old myself will never listen to this wisdom and will continue to cry and feeling bad about herself. That's how teenagers do. Unfortunately, human nature.
Yeah, I think that's such an interesting thought. Like, would I have actually listened to myself? And I love that you shared all of that with us. So thank you very much. Well, Dr. Tiina, the floor is yours. If there's anything you'd like to share that we haven't touched on, please do.
Oh, Cynthia, thank you so much for inviting, and thank you for great questions. I love all your questions, and I really want to be able to give more recommendation how to choose the right product, how to avoid wrong products. But truth to be told, no one knows. So sometimes you should just try and to feel how it feels for your skin, because your skin will not lie to you. If your skin feels comfortable, if it looks healthy, if healthy skin, it always looks useful and beautiful. So just respect your skin. Don't deny your skin signals, and you will be fine.
Very beautiful. And thank you so much for that extra wisdom today. So lovely chatting with you, and to my beautiful guest, Her Drive. Thank you for checking out this episode. There will be more details in the show notes. And as always, I ask you to share this episode with anyone whom you think would appreciate the information. And as always, please leave a review. Thanks, Dr. Tiina.
Thank you so much.